And it's like, how many people are in that head? How many consciousnesses? How many consciousnesses? Conchai? No, it's not conchai. I'm making that up. That's not real. How many different personalities? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Views. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about Westworld. We're doing a wrap up for episodes 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you are a friend of the channel and you've been following along, I did watch alongs for the first 5 episodes, or maybe the first 4 episodes. The 5th one, I got to a point where I realized one of the problems with my watch alongs of some of the shows that I do is that they're so cerebral and so high level when it comes to all the things that's going on and all the storylines that you're trying to keep track of. Most of the time when I'm watching Westworld, I'm just processing everything that's happening, trying to keep track of where we are in time, who's doing what, who is who. All those things really keep me off balance. So when it comes down to it, I was really just watching the show. So I stopped doing the watch alongs at episode 5. Well, actually I did it, but then I just didn't release it. And what I ended up doing is watching 6, taking notes, watching 7, taking notes, and I just finished the finale tonight, and we're going to put everything together in one video and give you my thoughts on the entire season. Jumping right into episode 6, that was a dope concept that we got from previous seasons. It's something that we had seen before of the park and the company of Delos trying to do their best to take a human consciousness and put into a host body. And the waters get very muddy because it's hard to remember who was an original host that was just created off of a template and who was a host that was previously a human but still created from a template. And like that, all that stuff is really confusing. But what it boils down to is in episode 6, Caleb's mind and consciousness was constantly being transferred into different host bodies. I think we actually saw multiple versions of him in episode 5 as well. But then when we get to 6, we get to see Hale's plan of like releasing each version and letting each one get a step closer to escaping, just to see what would happen if he actually escaped. And you know, at the end of the episode, she says like, "Ma, that's very disappointing that all you did was get a message to your daughter." But it was a very right on time message. And it was very endearing to see that after all that time, and even after him knowing lots of time had passed, he still took the steps to reach out to that daughter because, you know, that's how he's wired. That's how we're all wired, to do what's most important to you no matter what. So that was very cool to see him carry out that plan and see all the different copies and versions willing to leave hints and sacrifice themselves to help the next version get a step further. Real dope stuff. This episode leaves you with just as many questions as it does answers. And just like most episodes from Westworld tends to do that, you get Hale at the top of the building. She's bleeding from the arm. You get to thinking like, why do you keep rebuilding yourself with those scars from that accident? Why are you still clinging to a bit of humanity? Are your plans actually changing for what you originally planned to do with this transcendence plan that she was trying to roll out? So I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of questions going into episode 7. Without doing watch alongs, I was able to roll right into episode 7 and get right to them. Episode 7 had a lot of things to achieve. You need to set up a real strong, real chaotic finale with this final episode, episode 8. So they do a lot in episode 7 to kind of set you up on a path where you don't know what's gonna happen in the final episode because so much happened in the second to last episode, episode 7. So let's talk about it. Bernard, dead. Maeve, dead. The real William, dead as a doorknob, just done. Caleb, reunited with his daughter. Great stuff. Happy to see that it happened. Hale, dead. Don't know how she's gonna come back because she's the big bad. How are you not gonna have a big bad in the finale? Dolores, revealed to not even be in the real world, like not at all in the real world. She's been in the Sublime or some type of computer world, some type of simulation this entire time, but she is still affecting the real world, which makes sense because Teddy was dead. Teddy was gone. There should be no Teddy, but there was a Teddy throughout the season. And this kind of weird, she's in an internet space, a server somewhere, that storyline, that explanation allows you to have Dolores present and affecting things, even though she's not present, but still affecting things. A lot of stuff went on in episode 7, but I powered through. I watched episode 8, the finale, and more stuff happened that like blew my mind because 1, we didn't get Maeve coming back. 2, we didn't get Bernard coming back. 3, Dolores is not in the Sublime. She's like in the big sound system thing that Hale had that was like sending out the chimes every now and then. Like she was in the floor. They break the floor, they take the pearl out by the end of the finale. They put her in the Sublime and they allow her to run her own simulation, and everybody else on the planet is dead. That is crazy. It's the craziest way to end the season because you're basically telling me everything that has led up to this moment is useless. It's pointless. It's null and void because nobody survived. Like we followed Bernard for an entire season after he woke up in that dusty hotel room, and we thought, okay, he knows all. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how things unfold. And his ultimate plan was just to get things to the point where Dolores could run one last simulation. And I'm assuming that final simulation is gonna be season 5, the final season. I hope that it's the final season because at this point, the levels of understanding that you have to follow the show is through the roof. Season 3 was all about being in, I guess, modern day and away from the park and showing how people and machines went to war over all the different things that was going on in season 3. And then you get to season 4 and like everything's kind of reconciled on the surface, but no, not really reconciled because they've been controlled for the last 20 years because Hale won the war. And it's like, man, the show has so much going on. I can't see them being able to carry it past season 5. And if I'm being 100% honest, this finale, the finale for season 4 feels like a series finale. They do not have to touch this again, in my opinion. Because, Bernard is finished. We didn't see him come back in that finale. Maeve is finished. She didn't come back. Hale came back because she had her workers, pick her up, regenerate her body, preserve that little pearl thing that, is the consciousness. And it was cool. And she got an upgraded body at the end. She beat the man in black, William, who was crazy. Like he basically set the world to self-destruct. Good episode. Everything was good. I liked the entire season. And if we're ranking seasons, I would say this is the best season after season 1. But I didn't care for the Dolores mind trippy stuff. Like the idea that, in episode 8, they show us that Teddy was never really there. This was Dolores trying to speak to the Christina character. How many different personalities exist inside of that one little pearl, that one little consciousness that we call Dolores? Because there's been Wyatt, there's been Dolores, now there's Christina. And apparently Dolores was trying to speak to Christina the entire season. And that's all Teddy was. And that's disheartening. It was very sweet, the dialogue that went back and forth talking about how much they love each other and each one is the anchor and all this stuff. But you're basically talking to yourself at this point because Teddy's not there. Teddy's in the Sublime. He's been in the Sublime. And now she's in the Sublime. She's going to go find Teddy. I guess you get, James Marsden back for season 5. And it's like, man, there's a lot. There's so much going on with the show that I feel like if you can squeeze out one last season, do it and then be done with it. Because I have a link in the description that shows Ed Harris. It's a Forbes interview where Ed Harris is quoted as saying that they're going to shoot season 5 in the spring of 2023. And I'm guessing we're not going to see anything until 2024, which I guess that's just about right with their schedule. But it needs to be the end. It really does need to be the end because what more can you do? Everybody has to take leaps and bounds to keep up with the show. I don't think you can stretch this more than one more season. So let me know what you guys think about the ending of Westworld season 4. Do you have it as your next best season after season 1? I do, But those are my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. I felt like the show's been with me. I've been with the show since the first season. I've been reviewing it and doing episodes since way back when I was doing skits for the videos. And I'm like, it would be wrong for me to just throw in the towel on Westworld. So I'm glad I came in and got it done. Let me know what you think, please, in the comment section. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.